I just suddenly have like all of these thoughts like, oh, what if I have to pee? What if I have to poop?
Is there a bathroom? I'll take a bush. At this point, I don't care.
What is the temperature? What? -1?
This is where I'm running. It's incredible. I have hit a wall. I'm being attacked by 1,000 bugs.
It is 4:41. I am about to head out the door very soon after I eat my breakfast. I never eat this early, so I don't know how this is gonna function. But today I'm doing something that wasn't really planned, but it was kind of planned, but like weeks ago. I'm running a half marathon by myself for the first time. The longest distance I have run to this day by myself is gonna happen today. Honestly, I'm kind of nervous. I just suddenly have like all of these thoughts like, oh, so many things could go wrong and I'm all alone. What if I have to pee? What if I have to poop? But I've never peed during my previous 2 half marathons. And the last time I ran long distance was in November, and that was 16 kilometers. And that was also kind of unplanned. I just didn't want to stop running because I was having so much fun. And I didn't use the bathroom once, and I had no water, and I was fine. I had no gels with me because I was going on a 3-kilometer run. I ended up running 16 kilometers because I was just like, oh my God, I could keep going forever. I was like a Forrest Gump.
I'm gonna aim for at least 3 kilometers. I am not okay physically, but 3K is at least what I can do. So I kind of surprised myself and ran 16 kilometers instead, which is the longest I ran by myself.
I'm driving all the way to Lake Perris. It's about an hour and 25 of driving. I've always wanted to visit that area and run there. I just never took the time. Not that I didn't have the time, I never took it.
I have made it to where I want to park. So I am here still before the sunrise. It's 6:25. I'm gonna pack up my vest. I never usually wear vests for half marathons or running in general. I usually wear them for hiking. But since this isn't an organized run and there will be no water stations, I want to make sure I bring my water. So I have 2 gels with me. I have a few dates with me. When is the last time you had a date? Because for me it's this morning. What is the temperature? What? -1? Yeah, that does feel like -1. Holy... The coldest temperatures I ran in so far was -4, but it was only a 5K. Not ideal, but hopefully it will warm up once the sun rises. I am kind of nervous, not gonna lie. I am excited as well. I'm extremely excited, but I am nervous because I never ran that far by myself. So now that I know that at least for 21 kilometers I'll be running, it's different when you run a race. It's different when you run with other people because you have the support, you have the signs at the side, you have, you know, other people that are in this with you, like a large group of people, and in the end you get a medal and you get a t-shirt. So there's something to run towards. I haven't really trained all that much for this. My half a marathon that was supposed to happen at the beginning of January was a trail half marathon with like 2,000 feet of elevation. So training for that was basically just hiking a lot and running and walking uphill. I didn't train for like a flat ground marathon, half marathon. I was training to be able to, you know, walk very fast or run at least to a certain degree up a hill. And then downhill, because downhill is actually a lot more painful than uphill when you're running. You would think that it's more painful going up, but it's a lot more painful going down because of your knees and all of the pressure just accumulates in your legs and you feel like you're gonna explode. My training involved that, but then that race got canceled because of all the rain that we got, and the trail was pretty much like flooded and it was unsafe to run there. So they canceled it, and then I kind of took 2 weeks off from running. Now I just randomly, spontaneously decided, you know what, I do want to run a half marathon in January because that was like the only thing that I set as a New Year's Eve resolution, New Year's resolution, whatever, the resolution, the goal was to run a half marathon in January. That was literally quite it for me. I should at least do it on my own. So I haven't really trained for this, but mostly it's a mental game. I remember the first time I went on a 5K run, my mind was telling me I cannot do that. It took me a long time to actually go from like running only 2 to 3 kilometers to attempting a 5 kilometer run. And back then I was like, there's no way I could ever run 5K. But I did. And then same thing happened with a 10K. I was like, there's no way I could do this. And I did. Then I was like, but okay, 10K is probably the longest I will ever be able to run. I'm just not one of those people that can run long distances. I'll never be that. It's just like I'm not wired correctly. It's all about mental game. Then I got my heart broken in 2023 and I was like, fuck this. I'm gonna run a half marathon. And I did it. And so I know that whatever is happening in my brain right now, it's only exclusively mental. My body can do this. I've walked further than that in one day. I have run a half marathon before. My first one was actually trail run, where it was in Griffith Park. It was a lot of elevation, which is nice because then whatever comes up, you got to go down. So I've done this before. Here's how I make myself feel better and bring myself to do this. I am giving myself permission to walk or slowly, very slowly jog the majority of it. I don't care if it takes 5 hours for me to finish this. I am not in competition with anybody. I am not gonna try to get PR. I'm not gonna try to have a 5 minutes per kilometer pace. All I want is to finish this. And that's all that is on today's agenda. If it takes me half a day, it takes me half a day. And with that, I'm reassuring my brain that this is not a big deal. I can indeed do this, even if I have to crawl, if I have to go on my elbows, military style, okay? Hydrating right now, when I have to pee, is diabolical.
I want to run, but I have to pee too badly. So hopefully there's like a bathroom. It's a lot colder than I thought it would be. Is there a bathroom? I don't see any bathrooms. I'll take a bush. At this point, I don't care. Yeah, it's definitely cold. The sun is starting to rise. It's really pretty. Check that out. Wow. Oh God, is this a bathroom? Please be open. Please be open. Now we can start. This is so gorgeous. I'm gonna try not to use headphones until I absolutely need them and just be energized by nature. We got sun.
So this is where I'm running. It's incredible. I'm 5K in. This time to just take a breather and grab my headphones because I do feel like listening to some music. I thought I ran maybe like 2 kilometers max, but I'm actually almost quarter of the way. Hopefully the spirit of this run continues. Yeah.
We are out here. We are going. Hell yeah. Let's fucking go.
I made it to 10K, which is almost halfway through. Doing pretty well, actually. It's been an hour and 12, also including all of the stops. There is a loop that goes around the lake, but when I was coming in, I saw the gates where the loop ends and a cement block. I don't know if this is just for people
with bicycles, so they can't go there, or I cannot go there either if I get all the way there, which is about another 6 or 7 kilometers away. And then I can't cross the last kilometer. And then I have to backtrack like 17 kilometers. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna turn around. Also, there was a bit of an incline coming this way. I started all the way down there, which means that the hardest part of this run is over, considering I get to now more or less run down the hill. Well, it's not a hill. Maybe it's like, no, it doesn't say what's the elevation. Maybe it was like 300 feet total, but enough to feel it. And also, there's no sun on this side. It's just shade. So I want to go back to the sunny side. I'm on this rock now. This is just a brief stop. I will also have a gel. I feel like I am in need of that. Legs are fine. I'm feeling fine. I'm having a blast. I'm listening to music. This is like my favorite brand of gels. It's the only one I ever purchase. Has 25 milligrams of caffeine. I'm gonna have to start moving again. It's windy. I ran up this hill, which felt poetic place to stop. So now I get to go there. Oh God, it's cold. Okay, bye. Also, you can see snow on the mountains. It is windy now. Oh my God, sun. Seems I have hit a wall. Oh God, I'm being attacked by 1,000 bugs. Oh no, I don't like this. 16 kilometers in, and it's starting to hurt. I'm fighting demons. I was gonna drink some water, changed my mind. We are officially down to one layer. Such is the nature of running in California. 17 kilometers in, almost there. 18K in. I'm slowing down a lot. Pain has definitely visited me. If I run 6 minutes per kilometer, that's 18 minutes, which means that that's only 3.5 5-minute songs. I can run for 3 more songs. 20 kilometers in, 21 kilometers. Woo! Got it done. Already changed into my favorite shirt. 21.3 kilometers. So I ran a little bit further than a half marathon. This is actually my longest run ever now, because I ran a little bit longer than a half marathon in my longest solo run. The pace was 7.37 per kilometer. Usually my average pace is 5 minutes and 40 seconds, like 5:30, 5:40 per kilometer. But obviously this was a very long distance. My moving time was 2 hours 42 minutes. It's my third fastest, so definitely no PRs here. Max elevation was 500 meters. I'm actually quite surprised at how well this went, considering I was by myself and I don't run long distances by myself ever. I'm not good at keeping up with training for my half marathons. I kind of just run my own distances, my own pace, my own frequency, and then just enjoy the vibe. But I definitely want to change that. I think the respect for marathons and half marathons comes from training, because it's actually fairly easy to run with a group of people. Like I have mentioned, like that's the easy part. The hardest parts are these runs by yourself where it's just you and your mind. And look, I want to say this was super easy and like a whole lot of fun, but I'd be lying. It was a lot of fun, yes. I hit a massive, massive wall at 17 kilometers. I was stopping probably every 500 meters at that point, and my legs would not listen. Kilometer 17 and kilometer 19 was hell. It felt like I was stuck in those 2 kilometers for like an hour.
like I was in a twilight zone. I don't know how to explain it, but like time slowed down. And I hit a wall on my last half marathon at around kilometer 16. So this is why training is important for these longer distances. I'm happy I got it done. I'm very happy. I'm extremely exhausted. And yeah, this was a good little challenge. I definitely need to start increasing my distances if I want to run a marathon at some point, because all I kept thinking was like at kilometer 17, I was like, well, at least I'm done in 4 kilometers. I don't know what I would do if I had 24 more kilometers to go. I would just cry. I think this is like always after half a marathon, you're like in a weird limbo. You're happy you got it done, and you're like kind of like in a haze, and like emotions are all over the place. It's very confusing. But then the next day, you're usually super, super euphoric. So I'm gonna wrap it up here. And yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching.